Good evening, I'm Julianne Fike.
And I'm Swat Hamoud. There's plenty of talk that the job market is getting tighter.
It's especially concerning for soon-to-be college graduates. Our Aurora Fitzgerald spent some time at the career fair at SUNY Oswego and talked to students and employers.
It's a stepping stone for students' future careers. The Dream Big Career, Internship, and Exploration Fair is back, helping current and future graduates, welcoming any and all majors. There is a plethora of alumni, employers, and opportunities. But the current job market is making some students feel worried about their future.
I feel rushed because it's like very competitive.
Just like more demand of people and just less job opportunities.
It makes me reconsider a little bit like what I'm doing at school, and it is my passion.
Local unemployment rates are making nearby opportunities more competitive for graduates. Across the state, rates sit between 3 and 5%. But economists say job growth has slowed, creating uncertainty for new graduates. Newly hired Professor Tyler King recently came from that job market.
The fear is understandable because we fear the unknown. And right now, the job market in the United States and pretty much the entire Western world is a very big unknown.
That's why events like this give students the chance to connect with employers and get a head start before they walk across the stage. One of the coordinators of the career fair, Megan Mazzacone, sheds light on the event to ease students' worries.
We have about 100 employers here that are, and that is a really great number. We haven't dipped in the years of employers and industry professionals who are coming to talk and meet with students.
Although the current job market is stressful, employers are encouraging students to stay strong.
I'm a graduate of SUNY Oswego. I graduated with broadcasting, mass communications, and I'm in HR now. So that's the biggest encouragement I would have is don't count yourself out just because it doesn't align specifically with your degree.
To be persistent and to be dedicated to their job search. Don't give up because there's a lot of competition, but they have to believe that they have what it takes to get that job.
If you wake up in the morning and you say, what is it I want to do? That's what you should stick to in that lane, because that's your calling and that's your gifted.
Your resume is one of the most important parts on your job hunt. If you need help, make sure to drop in to Career Services during the week. Aurora Fitzgerald, Oswego Now.
SUNY Oswego's Office of Career Services has their drop-in hours every Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Weather's been warming up in Oswego with recent rain.
I know. Let's take a look at the weather forecast with Parker.
Thank you guys. For today in Oswego, for conditions, we have hazardous weather for today. In the next couple of days, there's going to be some thunderstorms, some rain, and right now it's currently 42 degrees outside and cloudy, and it feels like 34, and that is due to the southwest winds of 12 miles per hour. But in my full forecast coming up after the break, we'll look at Fulton, Pulaski, and Phoenix. But for now, back to the desk.
Thanks, Parker. The City of Syracuse partnership with B&R Bunkhouse Adoptables is ending this month. This means dogs and cats taken in by animal control will have nowhere to go.
Our Gianna Cowell is tracking the story and has more on how this can impact a shelter here in Oswego County. Gianna?
New York state law requires municipalities have a contract with an animal shelter, so there are places for animal cruelty case dogs, stray dogs, and cats to go. The shelter Paws Across Oswego County already takes in many dogs from Syracuse, and its director, Heather Axtell, is worried.
We've taken dogs from Syracuse. Not necessarily. We have taken a lot from B&R before, but we've taken from CNYS PCA. We actually have 2 dogs now, Luna and Sheba, who came from City of Syracuse. Because of the situation, there's nowhere for the dogs to go. So it was like a scramble in our.
I reached out to the City of Syracuse's mayor's office, but did not receive a response. I am not alone. Shelter directors across the area, including Heather Axtell at Paws Across Oswego County, have tried to reach out and express their concerns too. They're especially troubled that the City of Syracuse wasn't living up to its contractual obligation.
They were paid by the City of Syracuse, not paying their bills to B&R, and the contract was supposed to end in December, I believe it was. But they extended it knowing that
CNY SPSCA is the only other shelter in Syracuse. It is full and running into their own problems. PAC is urging people to reach out to their officials as there has been no response. In the newsroom, Gianna Cowell, Oswego Now.
Heather says she expects to see dogs and cats in Syracuse going unfed, animals fighting, disease spreading, and attacks on humans in the city and the surrounding towns and villages without this contract. Students are up to something sweet at SUNY Oswego.
They're tapping maple trees and collecting syrup, a tradition that started at SUNY Oswego during the pandemic.
And it was crazy and everybody was trying to figure out what to do. So we sort of scratched our heads and said, hey, what can we do outside that'll be safe? And maple tapping was the answer.
Jason Napolitano is one of the students who helps prep the trees to draw out the sap.
You want to pick the ever so slightest angle. You're not talking, 90-degree right angle, just enough that gravity will take its course and cause stuff to run. And once you have a good angle,
Napolitano continues by then taking the pipe cleaner to clean the area and then takes his mallet while making sure not to jam it too hard. Coordinator Max Ali has the job of giving students a chance to taste some of the sap in the buckets.
all right, who wants to try some sap today?
Yes.
From being surrounded by hundreds of maple trees and exploring the tree tapping and sap tasting season, we leave from where our sweet adventure began. Adventurous experience for sure.
A similar event happening tomorrow, March 7th at Rice Creek from 10 to 11:30 a.m. for anyone looking to get involved. TEDx SUNY Oswego is underway, and one speaker in particular is breaking barriers.
And some off-campus students here at SUNY Oswego were given some good news this week.
I'm Parker Voris, your meteorologist for Oswego Now. We already took a look at Oswego, but let's take a look at Fulton, starting with Fulton, 42 degrees and cloudy, 43 degrees and cloudy, and then Pulaski is cloudy as well with 43. It's a little bit warmer than it has been, but still no sun. Spring is just on the horizon. And if we take a look at Phoenix, also cloudy with temperatures of 44 degrees currently around the Oswego area. Now, current temperatures across upstate New York, starting with Buffalo, 49 degrees, so warmer than usually it is at this time of year in Buffalo. Then we look at upstate New York and Syracuse, 44 degrees, and then we take a look at Plattsburgh, 39 degrees, all the way up there in upstate New York, and then Albany, the capital, 42 degrees, and then all the way down in New York City, also 42 degrees. So it's warmer up in Buffalo than it is downstate, which usually we don't see too often. Then tonight, around 5 p.m. here in Oswego, we will see temperatures in the low 40s and mostly cloudy skies. 7 p.m. and temperatures will dip lightly into the upper 30s with cloudy conditions continuing. So some Saturday planners. St. Patrick's Day is upon us, and Oswego is hosting their St. Patty's parade tomorrow at 1 p.m., but thunderstorms are upon us. It's going to, in the morning, 46 degrees, but then it will heat up in the afternoon around 60, and then evening, we'll see it 57. But so keep an eye on those thunderstorms if you plan to go to that parade here in Oswego. But there's also something else happening Saturday. Geneva, Oswego versus Hobart for the SUNYAC Men's Hockey Championship. If you plan to travel, 46 degrees in the morning, 68 in the afternoon, but dipping all the way down to 43 degrees. And a part of that is some of that low temperature from the pressure in the low pressure in the air, the heat wave coming in, and then a heat front, and then a cold front coming in will bring those temperatures almost down by 25 degrees. And that's just because we're not really in the spring weather yet. And so spring is still upon us, but with temperatures like this, we can see in this time of year, these temperatures can still happen where it goes from high to low pretty quickly. And then looking from 6 to 10 days around the U.S., we have in the southern U.S., temperature is pretty high, and then the Midwest kind of evens out, and those leaning just right above what you see from average. In New York State, we see these temperatures where it's just around the midway point. So things are heating up in New York State, and that's all I have for you guys for my full weather forecast. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Parker. After concerns from students about transportation and safety at Lakeside Commons, there's now an update.
The shuttle service to SUNY Oswego will be returning this weekend. Elena Thomas has the follow-up.
Students living at Lakeside Commons told Oswego Now the apartment complex had discontinued its shuttle service to campus. For many residents, the shuttle was their main way to get to class, work, and campus activities. Without it, some students say they were forced to pay for rideshare services or walk along New York State Route 104, a busy road with no sidewalks or streetlights. Students said the walk could be dangerous, especially at night, with cars and large trucks traveling through the area at speeds up to 45 miles per hour. But now, students say they have received an update. Lakeside Commons has announced the shuttle service will return starting March 8th, restoring transportation between the apartment complex and SUNY Oswego campus.
I'm actually very happy because I get Ubers a lot. Sometimes the Ubers be $30, $20, and I also had to feed myself. I've been on campus for a lot of hours, so I'm actually glad that we have like transportation and I don't have to keep paying money. Especially, I don't have to be asking my friends for rides a lot. Like, I feel like I'm a prideful person, but sometimes like I just don't want to walk at nighttime. Like, it's scary. So especially when it's raining or when it's snowing. One time I was walking down the highway, I was about to slip. So I'm actually very happy that it's coming back.
Residents say they hope Lakeside Commons shuttle bus stays consistent so they can rely on affordable and safe travel to campus.
The shuttle service at Lakeside Commons is expected to resume on March 8th.
This Women's Month, we're recognizing an impactful woman at SUNY Oswego. Oswego Now reporter Emily Mike got to speak to Emma Halsey, TEDx SUNY Oswego's only student speaker.
She just steps up. She goes above and beyond.
It's International Women's Month, where a focus on many minds are the influential women around us. And that's no different at SUNY Oswego. Emma Halsey, a senior business administration and data science major at Oswego, is the only student speaking today at the second annual TEDx SUNY Oswego event.
As a student, I'm going to be talking mostly about my experiences as a student and my transformation from middle school to now and how I even got on the stage in the first place.
Things haven't all been spotlights and security for Emma, especially in a male-dominated industry. Emma shared that originally, data science was meant to be a woman's job.
Women were the original computer scientists. Back when computers first came out, typing was seen as more of a women's job because it was like secretary work. When computers got more advanced, women were really involved in like doing the calculations for like World War II, things like that, and they still haven't gotten that much recognition.
Despite the obstacles, Emma still thrives at Oswego through involvement, even volunteering at the shop in her free time.
Into a literal box.
Emma's story can remind women everywhere that no box can stop you from succeeding. Emily Mike, Oswego Now.
If you're interested in watching Emma's full talk, the full edited version will be on YouTube by the end of the semester. Updates can be found on oswegonow.net. Coming up, a preview into the highly anticipated matchup for the men's ice hockey tomorrow as they compete for the SUNYAC Championship.
And coming up in Oswego Now in Focus, a look at the recent Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount merger and why it matters to you. You're watching Oswego Now. We'll be right back. A big shakeup in the world of media this week. Warner Bros. Discovery was just acquired by Paramount. Many people are concerned about possible rising prices and what this merger means for consumers.
Earlier, I sat down with Professor Jennifer Fogel. We take a deeper look at how the acquisition could impact you in this Friday's In Focus. So I'm here with Professor Fogel today to talk about the recent bidding war between Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount and what the acquisition kind of led to and that whole entire experience. So thank you so much for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So Obviously, Paramount recently finalized its deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. What do you think are the main factors that led to this merger and why it's happening right now in the media industry?
So the bidding war was definitely happening between Netflix and Paramount wanting to possess a lot of the intellectual property that Warner Brothers has to offer. Warner Brothers had already sort of been in decline simply because they owned a lot of cable networks. People aren't watching cable television anymore. So they had already decided within the company that they were going to split off their cable networks with their subscription streaming service as well as their studios. Netflix wanted to just simply purchase the streaming and the studios so that they could have a lot of that intellectual property for themselves, and then the cable networks would just sort of be hung out to dry. Whereas Paramount decided that they wanted to own everything. And they had already gone through their own merger lately, so this is just going to create an even more huge conglomerate.
Yeah, and how do you think that that's going to affect the consumer when it comes to prices and bundling their streaming services all together?
For the most part, right now, Paramount has already said that they are planning to bundle or at least create one streaming service between HBO Max and Paramount Plus. That will likely give them more leverage to charge the consumer more. And then as far as some of the intellectual property, now they've promised they're going to start making some more maybe franchises, working more with DC, working more with Harry Potter. But the problem is that stuff costs money, and they're going to incur a lot of debt just taking on the company as it is. So perhaps as much as they're saying they're going to create a lot more content, that's not necessarily what's going to happen.
Yeah, and so with both CNN and CBS News now under the same corporate umbrella, what impact do you think that's going to have on the news industry?
Right now, this is what a lot of the industry is concerned about, mainly because those that currently own Paramount, which is Skydance, they are sort of fully ensconced in the conservative ideology. They're friends with our current administration. And so CNN, as we know, has sort of been the antithesis to our current administration. And so the fact that CBS, which has started to already change its view, saying that it's becoming more objective, will certainly have an impact on CNN that could lead to layoffs. It could lead to a very different type of ideology behind the news network. And so that is definitely one of the bigger concerns of the fact that Paramount is now probably going to take on Warner Brothers, barring any regulatory issues.
Yeah, okay, well, I thank you so much for sitting down
Welcome.
with me today and giving me some of this information.
When asked about the CNN and CBS merger, Paramount CEO David Ellison says editorial independence needs to be maintained after widespread public concern.
Coming up, how you can participate in this year's Oswego St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Up next, the baseball season is in full swing. What does Coach Landers have to say about his team's start so far? Right here on Oswego Now, stay with us.
It's time for Oswego Now Sports. I'm Jason Rude. The Oswego men's hockey team is set to face off against the Hobart Statesmen for the SUNYAC Championship tomorrow night. The Lakers are the defending champions of the conference, and the Statesmen are the best team in the country with an undefeated record this season and 66 consecutive home wins, a collegiate record. Ahead of the highly anticipated matchup, Oswego Now's reporter Eddie McAlpine has the preview before puck drop.
The Hobart Statesmen have not lost in over a year. Now in their first year in the SUNYAC, they are one win away from taking the conference title.
If we can win it when we come in, then, we've done a good job for the SUNYAC. Setting the undefeated record, that was special, but, that's over, that's done with. Now it's just winning hockey games.
Head coach Mark Taylor and his squad will have to take down the Oswego Lakers, the defending champions who they have beat twice already this season.
Well, every time you beat a team, you expect that the next one's going to be tougher, and beating a team twice is tough enough. Beating them 3 times is tougher. And
it will be an uphill battle for the Lakers. Head coach Ed Gosick is aware of the challenge.
We want to continue to build on who we are and what we do well and make them have to defend us and try to do a better job of defending them.
The anchor of the Lakers defense, first team all-conference Travis Baker, the only first team selection not from Hobart.
their whole team is a strength, like every bit of them. So I think we just got to stick to our game again. And they broke the NCAA record or something for most home wins in a row. Again, they're human. They're another hockey team, and they're beatable.
Hobart captain Khalil Fontana has led the Statesmen all season, and they know they are one win away from perfection.
It's exciting for us. It would mean a lot. Obviously, moving around from we were in a different league last year, so I think it was exciting for us to be in a league here and be able to prove ourselves here. I think it would mean a ton to be able to add a SUNYAC championship to the group.
A tough matchup, even for the best goalie in the country.
It's always hard to beat a team 3 times, so we just got to come in. It's just another game at the end of the day.
On the other end, the Lakers have been backed by freshman Michael Manzi, now playing in the biggest game of his young career.
I'm just trying to see the puck, not overstress, we all want to relax and have fun with this. It's a fun game to play. Everyone wants to play in this game in our conference. So once we get on that ice, national championships, so the wins, all that stuff goes away. It's just us versus them.
For the 3rd time this season, and now it's do or die. Alternate captain Cam Simons and the Lakers will fight to defend their title.
We're the previous champs for the SUNYAC. It's a big title to hold, so we know what this game means, and it's going to take everything we got.
Will the top dog take down the defending champions, or will the underdogs end the historic run of the new team in the SUNYAC? This is Hobart, Oswego.
For live coverage of the game tomorrow and access to our podcast previewing the game, you can tune in to OswegoNow.net. Well, as spring loads up again, so do the bases, as the men's baseball team is back on the mound this season. Last year, they finished with a 28-15 record, placing 3rd in the SUNYAC and advancing to the semifinals of the conference championship tournament. So far this season, the team has started 0-6 during a stretch of road games. Despite the tough start, head coach Scott Landers says that the team is still developing, with new players getting valuable innings early in the season.
I would say we were really excited. The first 2 weeks haven't gone as planned, but we got some injuries. We got a lot of new guys. I think, on Sunday, our last game, expectations have been high on them, So with these guys, they just got to live and learn from the mistakes that we made and move forward, But we always have high expectations in this program, since I've been here. And I think, as the year progresses, you'll see us get better and better and better.
The team will have its first home game March 27th on the Laker turf. That's all for the Sports Report. So, Julianne, back to you.
Thanks, Jason. St. Patrick's Day is coming up soon, and Oswego will be celebrating a little early. The town of Oswego will be hosting an Autism Awareness 5K run at 9 a.m. Saturday morning and St. Patrick's Day Parade that starts at 1 p.m., as well as other festivities at the Hibernian Club right after. All money raised from the 5K will go towards scholarship for young adults with autism. The routes for both the race and parade will begin at the Press Box on East 1st Street and end at Gibby's Irish Pub on West 2nd Street.
So, do you guys have any plans coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually going to work the parade tomorrow at Man in the Moon. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see all the floats come by and watch.
Yeah, and I'll be working the lacrosse game and going to Hobart for the SUNYAC championship game.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching.